Uh, an interesting trend which has now come up, and and is gaining some credence in the last 3 years or so, has been this activity of digital learning, e-learning. There are many e-learning platforms which have come up. I need not mention their names, but which are offering video lectures, which are offering through app, through websites, and through tablet and through various other devices. And students are encouraged to study for JEE and NEET examinations using these e-learning tools. So this is an interesting and trend which has come up in our coaching industry, and many students and parents do question us to ask us about the relevance and role of these particular devices and these kind of tools for their preparation. Let me first explain where these e-learning tools can be useful, and how they should be viewed by students and parents. See, if you are a student who cannot afford a 2 year classroom coaching program, because usually these classroom coaching programs are expensive for various reasons, because the faculty costs are very high. Therefore, the institution ends up charging the parent also reasonably high. So, if you're not able to afford those fees, then you should definitely go for e-learning tools. They can add certain value, and they can help you in your preparation. But the issue with e-learning is this, that the child has to have tremendous inspiration and motivation to study for JEE NEET. Sitting with some device, let's say a smartphone or a laptop or a tablet, day in and day out, listening to the lectures day in and day out, and for a teenager to do that, to listen to these complex lectures in physics, chemistry, mathematics, without somebody prompting you to pay attention to it, and expecting the child not to get distracted by other options available on the device, like social media, like video games, and like many other distractive elements, can be a little too much to expect from a teenager in today's times. So therefore, e-learning tools are like a double-edged sword. They will help you, but at the same time there is a risk, a downside risk of the child getting distracted from the main learning experience and going into some other stuff. Now that is a way out which some people have found out, by locking the device for access for other stuff. Probably that can help. That is definitely there. But how do you get the motivation to study hours and hours and listen to hours and hours of lectures alone with a device? That's a little unnatural. Sitting in the classroom, this is like an age-old, thousands of years Gurukul Parampara. Teacher is there, the student is in front of you, there's a human-to-human connect. Not just you, along with you there are another 15-20 students sitting and studying with you. There is an interaction between you and the teacher, between all the other group of students and the teacher, and amongst yourself. It creates a human bond. So there's a right emotional atmosphere, a right motivation, a right kind of a learning atmosphere is there in a classroom environment. This is very difficult to reproduce in a e-learning kind of a delivery model. However, I see a lot of scope for these e-learning tools to work as a complement and supplement, to the normal 2 years classroom coaching program. And I'm sure many institutions, including ours, are doing that already. We have our own online testing modules. We are also providing e-learning tools to students as part of our 2 years course. And that way it works very effectively and very nicely. But if you look at e-learning tools as a substitute or as a replacement to the classroom coaching thing, I don't believe that would work. That would lead to a very unnatural kind of way of learning the subject. We would be expecting the student to be extraordinarily motivated to study 1500 hours of lectures to take by himself and herself. And that too, you have the facility to rewind the lectures and listen to it again and again. So that again is a kind of going to consume a lot of time. So I don't know how much time a child should ideally be in front of an electronic device in a day. It shouldn't be too much. Otherwise, it can lead to some other aberrations, health reasons as well, health aspects as well. Because one thing we have seen, we have done one experiment in our classroom coaching, and I would like to share that with you. If we tell the student that you will be taught this lecture or this topic by our teacher. At the same time, you're going to get access of this particular topic through video lectures as well. I tell you, the motivation and the receptivity and the intensity of the student in the classroom reduces when he knows that I'm going to get similar content, same topic, by a video lecture or by some other kind of a e-learning tool. His attention goes down. He's not very much into it. Whereas if a child who is put in a classroom kind of an atmosphere and told that there is no other backup tool for you, there is no video lecture, nothing available, you have to listen to the teacher intently, receptively, and gather as much as you can from the teacher. The time of the teacher is very precious, and you better get whatever is available. This is how it has been for all students, especially of our generation and everyone else for the last thousands of years. So everybody just got some teacher, and we are fortunate to get some good teachers, and we took whatever we could during that time from the teacher. So we knew that if once the teacher is gone, we don't have that facility to access the teacher. So by giving them this access of e-learning tools, there is a dilution in the intensity of attention and receptivity of the student in the class. This is what we have seen. Therefore, e-learning tools have to be very carefully used. You cannot indiscriminately use it, and that would again affect the whole learning experience. So therefore, my submission on the e-learning aspect is this, and my observation is this, that the classroom coaching model is the most ideal for a student to study for this kind of exams, because these are very profound concepts involved in physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. You need to really get into the depth of it. You can't just, there has to be a lot of interaction between the teacher and the student as well to really get these concepts drilled into their heads. It's not just a one-way communication which will work through e-learning tools. And secondly, the downside risk of the student going away from the learning experience and the learning tool and accessing some other social media, video games kind of tools is too high to be ignored in the current times. So therefore the downside risk, I personally feel, perhaps outweigh the upside positives of an e-learning tool. Like you can repeat the lecture again, you can see it 10 times, 20 times, and that kind of, those are upsides of the e-learning aspect. So it has to be used carefully, and there is no substitution or replacement to the classroom model possible in the near future. That is bound to stay, and e-learning tools will act as a complementary or a supplementary to the same to enhance the learning experience of sincere students. Thank you very much. If you have any queries or comments to share about these videos, feel free to do so in the comment line below this particular video. It will be a good feedback for us as well as for students. If you have any further questions, we can make a video on those questions as well, because there are plenty of questions which you would like to answer of parents and students. Thank you very much.